Let's move on to the Minnesota Vikings here. They need a cornerback. They need a linebacker. They need an offensive line. They have pick 12, 46, 77, so on and so forth. Aaron, I'm tossing this one up to you, buddy. Who do the Minnesota Vikings need to get in this year's draft?
Yeah, we actually talked about this one too. For me, this one's simple. I think the weakest position for the Minnesota Vikings was on their back end. We've talked about this guy a couple of times. For me, this is the right spot for him. It's Andrew Booth. And Andrew Booth is a guy, he's long, he's rangy, he has burst, he's really good with his hips. His ball skills, you saw the catch there, that's just unreal, right? He's really aggressive in the run game. The only thing I worry about here is he's injured. There was talk today about some hip injury or something wrong his waist that teams are starting to get scared of that, and they're saying he might drop out of the first round. I did not know about that until after I had already made this pick. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more research. It does give me some cause to pause, but I think here Minnesota has to go defensive back. So if it's not an Andrew Booth, maybe you're going a Trent McDuffie here, but I really like the skill set of Andrew Booth. He fits man-to-man. He can learn from Patrick Peterson, who decided to come back. He can play on the outside. Again, my player comp this time, it's Jair Alexander from Green Bay, the type of man-to-man guy and those skills that he has, similar build, similar frame. He was a first-round pick out of Louisville. I think that Andrew Booth could turn into a player like that. And we all know Jair Alexander is a top 10 corner in the league when healthy.
It's a great pick. I kind of went in the same route, but I gave them a little wiggle room, allowed this to happen a little later. I went with round 2. I also went with the cornerback. Cornerback has been battle-tested and has played against top-tier competition, and that's Roger McCreary out of Auburn. Roger McCreary has started to prove that he can be a very, very good corner in this league. Now, I don't know if it'll be in the same way that he was at Auburn, where he played a lot of press man on the outside and won a lot. His size at 5'11" is probably going to make him one of those slot guys, but on a man-heavy team, putting him in the slot is only going to make that team better. I mentioned he was battle-tested. He's seen 183 career targets. He's only allowed had like 23 pass breakups or something of that nature. Forgive me, I'll check that stat a little bit later. His cons are he's got very short arms. His makeup speed isn't as great as it could be, but he does play fast. So if he's with you step for step, it's a very slight chance you're going to win that battle. I think Roger McCreary is going to be a very solid person, and Minnesota can use another. They got to figure it out on the back end. They keep trying. They keep failing. Eventually, one or two will hit, and I'm going to bet it's going to be Roger McCreary, round 2, pick 46.
Those are solid picks. I love the fact that both of you guys went cornerback. It allowed me to be a little bit more flexible because I was really leaning towards a cornerback here like an Andrew Booth, maybe even a Derek Stingley if he falls that far, because that's where a lot of people are saying Stingley could fall to the Minnesota Vikings here. That'd be a great pick as well. I went on the defensive line front. I'm going with big Jordan Davis out of Georgia. This man is an absolute monster. What could you say about Mr. 6'6", 340? His player comp, I can do these too, Aaron. Vita Vea for Jordan Davis here. He forces runners to run away. He's a unanimous first-team All-American. I love the fact that he came back his senior year and won this national championship with Georgia. It shows to me that he's a team player. He's committed to winning, and he was one of the big difference makers for this Georgia Bulldogs team that won the national championship. Now get this, guys. Jordan Davis is one of 4 defensive players to win Best Defensive Player of the Year in college football. The other 3 players that did it, Jonathan Allen from Alabama, who's doing very well in the NFL, and Ndamukong Suh, who's also doing very well in the NFL, and then somebody by the name of Aaron Donald. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him, but he's also doing pretty well in the NFL. So Jordan Davis is a monster. I'm not saying he's going to be on the level of Aaron Donald, but this dude is a beast and would help the Minnesota Vikings out immensely.
Physical freak. I said it before. I said we talked about him a few weeks ago. Physical freak. You don't see bodies like his, and then the strength and the control that he has. He can, like I mentioned before, he can play inside. He can play outside. 0 to 3 technique. The only thing that kind of is alarming for me, and I didn't really know this before, his snaps at Georgia were very low. Playing like 50% of Georgia's defensive snaps, and that could be in college football. It's hard because Georgia's blowing teams out. the first half of the year, their backups are in for, the third quarter, fourth quarter, and their starters aren't playing. So, but it's just something to note there. Maybe there's an endurance question there. Maybe, he has to work on his stamina or something like that. But Jordan Davis is going to be a top 15 pick in my eyes. He's a lock there, and that's a great pick.
Yeah, and also not to mention, if he does go to Minnesota, if they can't get it right on that back end, at least the guys up front, because they do have a great linebacking core, you can stat that box up and help your guys out that way. That's another good route to go.
Yeah, definitely. I like Jordan Davis a lot, and also the man can pitch. By the way, he threw out the first pitch in the Atlanta Braves game today on UGA Day, and I was like, man, if this dude, and he said he wanted to be like his top choice.
Could you imagine
AJ? So
wait, could you imagine? Could you imagine if he was a baseball player and he was a pitcher?
Dude,
staring at that when you're in the batter's box.
Oh my goodness, that'd be
no hit by pitch, no hit
by
pitch.
Right.
Yeah, I would just be like, all right, I'm out. See you guys. All right. Bye.
Yeah. Would you ever charge the mound if you got hit by pitch? Right.
Nope. I'd be like, here.
Would Will Smith have walked up there if it was Chris Rock or Chris B Rock? Damn, wrong Rock.
Oh man.